And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, today we're talking about Sheriff of Nottingham. Now, spoiler alert, I really like this game, and that's obvious because on the box cover you see this is a Dice Tower Essential game. What Dice Tower Essentials is, it's a line that I've created with Arcane Wonders in which the only really thread that connects all these games together are the games that I really like. I work throughout the year looking for games that I think would be great games to either reprint or print for the first time, and Arcane Wonders and I work together. I mean, just because I like it doesn't mean it makes a line. Other people have to like it also, and then it goes through a process and it's published. So obviously I'm going to be biased in favor of this, but if I didn't really like this game, we wouldn't have printed it in the first place. Sheriff of Nottingham is a reprint of a game called Heart der Grenz, which was a game translated across the border, in which players were trying to sneak goods across the border. It was republished as a small card game called Robin Hood. Well, the theme is basically the same, except the game isn't really about Robin Hood. It's about the Sheriff of Nottingham, thus the change in name. But there's also been quite a few other changes that have been made in development. Arcane Wonders did a great job on the production of this. The game is great. Let me show you how it plays. At the beginning of the game, each player is going to be a merchant. So this merchant, who looks suspiciously like someone you might know, is green. They also get a bag of their color. And so each person is going to have a picture with this it's kind of this Disney-esque artwork along with a bag of their color. And up to 5 players can play the game. One person is going to be given the sheriff, and that person is going to be the sheriff for each round. Each player is going to be sheriff twice over the course of the game, and the other players are going to have to try to bluff or tell the truth to the sheriff. Players are going to have a hand of cards from a deck that's really quite big. Lots of illegal and legal goods in the deck, and you can tell the difference between them instantly because legal goods have a green border and illegal ones have a red border. Now, there are 4 types of legal goods. There are apples, there is cheese, there is bread, and there are chickens. Okay? Those are the 4 types of legal goods. Each good is worth 2, 3, 3, and the chickens are worth 4. And there's also a different number of each of those in the deck, and the back of the booklet has a chart in case you want to know. For example, there's 48 apples, 36 cheese, 36 bread, 24 chickens. Okay? There's also illegal goods that are worth much more. Pepper is worth 6, mead is worth 7, silk is worth 8, and crossbows are worth 9. Now, each player is going to have a handful of 6 cards, and at the beginning of their turn, each player can discard, and the game actually comes with a card holder in the middle of the table, and you can discard as many cards as you want from your hand. You'll have 6 cards, and draw. You can draw either from the draw pile or from one of the 2 discard piles that are next to it. And the sheriff, though, is going to see what you're discarding and what you're drawing from your hand if you draw from these piles. After players have done that, players will then each open their bags and put goods into their bag. Now, you can put as many goods of one type in your bag legally. So I can put 3 cheeses in my bag. You can put up to 5 goods in a bag, and you actually can put anything you want. But 5 is the limit to the number. Then players will close their bags, they will hand it to the sheriff, and they will look the sheriff in the eye and declare what's in their bag. Now, the number of cards in their bag, they must be honest about. So you saw me put 3 cards in this bag. I have to say I have 3 of something. And I also have to declare a legal good. So I'm going to say 3 chickens, 3 bread, 3 apples, or 3 cheese. And you can say it any way you want. Oh, sheriff, I have 3 cheese for the orphans. You give your bag to the sheriff. The sheriff is going to get a bag from each player. Once the sheriff has gotten a bag from each player and they've declared it, the sheriff then has the opportunity to look in each player's bag or give it back to them. Now, when this game is published in October, there will be a timer that you can download where you essentially, and you can just use any timer really, you essentially have 1 minute per player. And the sheriff has to make the deals with the players. So if the sheriff says, you know what, I think you were telling the truth, he gives you your bag back to you. You will open the bag, you'll take the goods out. And then if the goods were legal, you'll put them next to your board. So here I got cheeses. I'll say, okay, you're right. I said I had 3 cheese. I put the 3 cheese next to the board. If you were lying, I said I had 3 cheese, but it was 2 mead and a rooster. I will put those in the contraband. You don't see what I've gotten, but you see that I've lied about it. Now, if the sheriff decides to check your bag, he's going to open your bag. If you were telling the truth, let's say I said I had 3 cheeses, and I did have 3 cheeses, then the sheriff must pay that person these penalties here. The sheriff will have to pay me 6 coins. Everyone starts with a pile of money, and you will try and have the most money at the end of the game, so paying penalties can be kind of annoying. If I said I had 3 cheeses and the sheriff checks my bag and I did not have 3 cheeses, I have to pay that penalty to the sheriff. So here I'd have to pay him 12, and these cards are discarded. I lose them. Even if, let's say I had 2 cheeses and mead, I would say, oh, I have 3 cheese in my bag. Well, this is okay, but I have to pay a penalty of 4 because I lied about the mead. I can keep my cheese, but this is discarded because that's an illegal good. Now, you may wish to, let's say you have a bunch of goods in your bag and you want to get them through. Before the sheriff opens your bag, you can say, wait, and you can make a deal with the sheriff. The sheriff can make a deal with you. That deal can include money. It could include some of the cards in the bag. It could include future or past promises. It could even include giving a card that you already have gotten and have on your display somewhere. You can make any sort of deal you want. In fact, you can make a deal for another player. I could say, I'll give you 10 gold coins if you check Joe's bag. And then the sheriff can decide to do that or not. This can go back and forth, but when the time runs up, any bag that's still closed goes through. And also, once you hear that snap, that's it. No more it's too late. The sheriff has to take the cards out. So the snap is like the final end to that. So when the sheriff has checked everyone's bags or let them through or time has run out, then the sheriff token is passed to the next player. Everyone draws back up to 6 cards and you start another round. At the end of the game, everybody's going to reveal their contraband, and also we're going to check each of the 4 major goods. You'll notice here that whoever has the most cheese cards at the end of the game will get a bonus of 15 coins, and the second most will get a bonus of 10. Having the most apples is even more lucrative than that, while having bread, 15 and 10, and having chickens, 10 and 5. There's also a few contraband goods that are not necessarily just straight up contraband. They look kind of like legal goods. For example, we have green apples, which are contraband because, Granny Smith was a crook or something, or golden apples, or Gouda cheese. This is legal goods, but the way they're made is wrong, so these are illegal. If you get caught with them in your bag, you have to pay a penalty. But at the end of the game, you can reveal, like both of these, and this one counts as 3 apples, and this one counts as 2. So I have 5 apples towards the apple bonus, where this Gouda cheese here counts as 2 cheese. So instead of having just 2 cheese at the end of the game, I have 4. You add all that up, whoever has the most coins that you've gotten over the course of the round, and all the coins that you've gotten from counting up your score at the end, whoever has the most is the winner of the game. Now, I love this game, obviously, but why? Well, the thing I liked about this game is I love the sheer act of looking someone in the eyes and trying to guess whether they've told me the truth or not. Now, that's in many games, but it really seems to just come to this one. And you'll meet people who will tell the truth the entire game, and they have a chance at winning. You'll meet people who lie a lot, but they tell the truth at a critical moment, or vice versa. They tell the truth and they lie. And then the whole bartering thing is really enjoyable, as it can get very frenzied, especially with that 4. You're playing a 5-player game. You have a 4-minute timer on it, and man, I think this game really shines best with 5 players. Well, with 3 and 4, but 5 really shines. Just all this back and forth going on. And what I found that in every game of this I've ever played, that the people just drop into roles. You'll see people pleading about children and, oh, I'm the new sheriff in town, and I'll make judgments against people, and remembering what someone did earlier in the game. The role play just comes through this. This game is obviously not for everybody. Some people don't like the act of trying to guess whether others are lying or just lying to other people in the course of a game. And others, there is that whole bluffing and deduction type thing. But man, some of the most fun gaming experiences I've ever had, playing a game is with Sheriff of Nottingham. Just super fun. And so obviously I'm highly recommending this game. It's coming out at the end of October, which is a bit away yet, but still, if you can get a copy, pick it up. Really cool. And this is one game in the line. The next game is going to be a Euro game. We have an abstract game we're looking at. There's lots of cool games coming from the line, and I'm really excited, but we only want to put out really, really fun games. This game is one of my favorite games, definitely going on my shelf. It would do that without the Dice Tower Essentials, but that's how the logo got on there. But if you like just that whole aspect of what's in the bag, playing with other people or making fake, terrible Robin Hood accents, or, sometimes I've seen ghetto Robin Hoods and sheriffs, all different movie quotes show up in the game. It can be very entertaining and enjoyable. Certainly give it a try. Sheriff of Nottingham.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Shut the door!